The Ravens season has been one of those journeys that keeps fans on the edge, teetering between hope and frustration. Expectations have always been high in Baltimore, especially with Lamar Jackson leading the charge, but this year, more than ever, those expectations are being questioned. People, look at the Chiefs, a team sitting at 6 wins and 6 losses. And the contrast is stark. Kansas City has a history of championship success, multiple Super Bowls under their belt, and a reputation for excellence that spans years. The Ravens, on the other hand, have struggled to translate potential into hardware. That disparity creates a narrative that is impossible to ignore. While the Chiefs are historically successful and only seem to falter occasionally, the Ravens have not yet crossed that ultimate threshold of victory in the Lamar Jackson era. It's not about a single bad season or a couple of missed opportunities. It's about consistency, or the lack thereof. At the highest level of competition, 3 straight seasons of falling short, whether in the playoffs or failing to reach them entirely, has left a fan base wrestling with patience, loyalty, and frustration. John Harbaugh, naturally, sits at the center of this storm. Opinions about him are as divided as ever. Some fans revere him for his achievements, his long tenure, and his undeniable leadership. Others argue that the clock is ticking, that perhaps the organization would benefit from fresh ideas, and that Harbaugh's time in Baltimore may have reached a natural conclusion. He has a remarkable legacy, taking teams deep into the postseason, winning an AFC championship early in his career, and even securing a Super Bowl with a team that was far from perfect. Yet, legacy alone cannot soothe the frustrations of a fan base that sees opportunity squandered year after year. Even when Lamar was injured, the expectation remained that this team could compete. And when they did not, it created doubt about the long-term vision and strategy of the franchise. It is a balancing act between respecting past accomplishments and confronting the reality of current performance. Comparisons are inevitable in professional sports, and looking at someone like Andy Reid offers both inspiration and cautionary tales. Reid faced his own crossroads, leaving Philadelphia after years of success, including NFC championship appearances, only to redefine himself elsewhere and eventually secure the recognition that had eluded him previously. The Eagles themselves underwent retooling, reimagining the leadership structure, and ultimately achieved Super Bowl glory. The lesson is clear. Even successful coaches are sometimes forced to move on for the betterment of both themselves and the organizations they serve. Harbaugh's situation is not identical, but the parallels are compelling. The Ravens have flirted with greatness under his guidance, yet the ultimate prize has remained elusive. At the heart of it all is Lamar Jackson, a talent whose window is as powerful as it is fleeting. Lamar is no longer a rookie, yet he is still in his prime. A rare combination of athleticism, skill, and leadership. The window to maximize that talent is narrowing, and every season without a deep playoff run or a Super Bowl appearance intensifies the pressure. Fans watch closely, noting the statistical anomalies. This year, completion rates below 60%, the longest run of the season failing to surpass 20 yards, and rushing averages below 3 yards per carry. These numbers are not reflective of Lamar's capabilities, but they highlight the harsh reality of injuries and team dynamics. Talent alone is not enough. It must be supported, optimized, and protected by a cohesive coaching staff and a resilient team culture. The Ravens are also facing the practical side of football operations: injuries, roster decisions, and the strategic deployment of returning players. The recent news that Darius Washington and Tavius Robinson have returned to practice is a breath of fresh air for a team that has navigated much of the season without key contributors. Rarius' Achilles injury and Tavius' broken foot are reminders of how fragile momentum can be in the NFL. But their return also represents opportunity, how they are integrated back into the lineup, how much they are trusted in high-stakes situations, and how their presence shifts defensive schemes could be pivotal in a playoff push. Coaches must balance ambition with caution, ensuring that these players regain confidence, timing, and instinctive movement without risking re-injury. It's a nuanced dance, requiring insight from the entire coaching staff, from Eric Dcaca to John Harbaugh, as well as buy-in from the athletes themselves. Beyond individual performances, the Ravens season has been defined by organizational identity, offensive and defensive. Coordinators have rotated in and out, creating fluctuations in strategy, philosophy, and execution. Through all of this, Harbaugh has remained the constant, a figure of accountability, a communicator of culture. And the ultimate decision-maker on the sidelines, his influence permeates every aspect of the team, from practice to game day. And his leadership will be a focal point as Baltimore navigates the critical moments that define a season. Yet, even the strongest leaders are subject to the unforgiving lens of results-oriented sports. 3 playoff victories in the last 10 seasons, a statistic that predates Lamar Jackson, underscores the tension between respect for past accomplishments and the relentless demand for success now. In the background, questions swirl about long-term strategy, personnel decisions, and how to maximize the prime years of Lamar Jackson, restructuring contracts, optimizing the roster, and potentially exploring new coaching dynamics all sit on the table. Fans are keenly aware that time is a finite resource in sports, and the Ravens are at a juncture where decisions made now will echo for years. Lamar's ceiling remains sky high. Yet the urgency to convert that potential into championships is palpable. The interplay of talent, strategy, and leadership creates a scenario in which every move carries weight, and every game feels like a referendum on the team's vision. Even amidst the tension, there is a thread of optimism. Returning players like Arias and Tavius provide a spark, a reminder that the season is not over and that the potential for impactful performances remains. The Ravens' story this year is far from written. It is a narrative in motion, with twists, challenges, and triumphs yet to come. Fans will continue to debate the merits of coaching decisions, player performance, and organizational strategy, all while hoping that the combination of talent, leadership, and opportunity coalesces into something unforgettable. The stage is set, the stakes are high, and every snap carries the weight of expectation, legacy, and the possibility of redemption as the Ravens move deeper into the season. The return of players like Darius Washington and Tavius Robinson could be the kind of shift that energizes the locker room and changes the dynamic on the field. Washington's Achilles injury had sidelined him for months, and watching him step back onto the practice field brought a sense of cautious optimism. Recovering from an Achilles tear is no small feat. It demands not just physical rehabilitation, but mental recalibration. Every cut, every sprint, every sudden change of direction requires trust in a tendon that has endured immense strain. But when a player of Washington's caliber returns, it isn't just about his individual talent, it's the ripple effect throughout the defense. His presence allows for strategic rotations, the ability to disguise coverages, and the confidence to attack plays aggressively, knowing that someone of his skill set can cover critical gaps. Tavius Robinson's return is equally impactful, particularly in a team that thrives on pressure, discipline, and timely disruption. His broken foot had limited him to just 6 games this season. Yet despite that, he remained tied for second on the team in sacks, showcasing his relentless approach and natural instincts. Baltimore's defensive front has often relied on versatility and adaptability, and reintegrating Robinson adds a layer of unpredictability that opponents must account for. This is a team that thrives when its playmakers are healthy and aggressive, and the late-season return of these two defenders could give them exactly what they need to create momentum at the most crucial time. It's not just about statistics, it's about morale, about knowing that every practice rep builds toward a critical playoff push where execution will be everything. For the coaching staff, this is where strategic decision-making becomes paramount. John Harbaugh, Eric DCACA, and the rest of the leadership must consider how to deploy these returning athletes effectively. Will Washington immediately take over significant snaps, or will he rotate in gradually to ensure he is fully confident and conditioned? Will Robinson's presence shift defensive formations, creating opportunities for Kyle Hamilton and Alohi Gilman to maximize their impact? These are questions that will define how the Ravens approach the remainder of the season, and how prepared they will be if they reach the postseason. Football is, after all, a game of preparation and adaptation, and Baltimore's ability to integrate these players without disrupting team chemistry will be a key measure of their coaching acumen. Beyond the tactical considerations, the Ravens are wrestling with the broader question of identity and trajectory. Lamar Jackson remains the centerpiece of this franchise, a quarterback whose unique skill set and leadership style demand both respect and thoughtful game planning. Yet even for a player of his caliber, the ceiling of achievement is constrained by health, supporting personnel, and the guidance of the coaching staff. Injuries, even minor ones, have a compounding effect, impacting rhythm, timing, and confidence. The season has highlighted both Lamar's brilliance and the limitations imposed by a team in transition. reminding fans that the window for maximizing talent is finite. Every game, every snap, is a chance to reinforce progress or expose vulnerabilities. And Baltimore is acutely aware that the opportunity to leverage Lamar's prime years must be seized. Before circumstances shift, the discussion around John Harbaugh's tenure has evolved in this context. Harbaugh is widely regarded as one of the more accomplished coaches in recent NFL history. Yet his tenure in Baltimore has been marked by both highs and frustrations. Early successes, including a Super Bowl win and multiple AFC championship appearances, established credibility and respect, but recent seasons have tested patience. In a league where immediate results are demanded, and playoff success is the ultimate measure of leadership, even a coach with Harbaugh's resume faces scrutiny. The coming games will serve as a barometer for whether the current approach can still produce championship-level results or if it is time for a recalibration of strategy and leadership. In terms of broader team dynamics, the Ravens roster has experienced shifts that reflect the complex nature of modern NFL management. Offensive and defensive coordinators have changed. Draft strategies have evolved, and key players have cycled in and out due to injury or performance issues. Throughout all of this, Harbaugh has maintained continuity in leadership. But continuity alone cannot compensate for structural gaps or underperformance. The integration of Washington and Robinson is a chance to strengthen the defensive backbone. But it also requires alignment across the coaching staff and a commitment to execution from every player on the field. Football is the ultimate team sport. And even elite talent cannot carry a team without synchronized strategy, trust, and communication. Baltimore fans, long accustomed to a mix of hope and heartache, are now observing a pivotal moment in the franchise's trajectory. Will the combination of Lamar Jackson's prime talent, returning defensive stalwarts, and strategic coaching adjustments propel the team into a deep playoff run? Or will the challenges of injuries, inconsistency, and a high-pressure environment highlight the need for more substantial organizational changes? Each practice, each game, becomes a microcosm of these larger questions, with stakes that extend beyond wins and losses to define the franchise's identity and future direction. As the Ravens prepare for the final stretch of the regular season, the narrative becomes increasingly about opportunity and timing. Washington's ability to create turnovers, Robinson's capacity to disrupt opposing quarterbacks, and Lamar Jackson's explosive skill set must coalesce at precisely the right moment. The playoffs, when they arrive, will be a crucible, testing every decision made by coaches and players alike. How the team manages depth, integrates returning talent, and executes under pressure will define the difference between an early exit and a legitimate championship contender. Fans understand that the margin for error is slim, and that the Ravens' ability to harness talent and experience effectively may determine whether the season ends in triumph or disappointment. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Whispers are swirling through the league, and Ravens fans might finally have a reason to get excited. Sources close to the team suggest that Baltimore could be gearing up for a bold, behind-the-scenes move that has the potential to completely shake up the season. At the center of this brewing storm is none other than quarterback Jordan Love, whose name has been quietly circulating in front office chatter and locker room whispers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders hint that the Ravens have been exploring every angle to bring Love into their fold. The team has reportedly been keeping this maneuver under wraps, moving with the sort of secrecy that suggests they believe this could be a game changer. Executives and scouts have allegedly been in discreet contact with Love's representatives, and sources say the discussions are far from casual. There's a sense that Baltimore is serious about securing a quarterback who could redefine their offensive strategy. The intrigue isn't just about talent, it's about timing. The Ravens have been searching for a spark, a fresh energy that could elevate the squad beyond its current trajectory. Jordan Love's potential arrival has fueled speculation that Baltimore might be ready to pivot, taking risks others wouldn't consider at this stage. Rumors of trade talks and strategic planning sessions in hidden corners of team facilities suggest a level of commitment that has fans buzzing and rivals watching closely. Social media has been aflame with theory and conjecture, as armchair analysts and seasoned commentators alike try to read between the lines. Could Love be the missing piece that finally propels the Ravens to a dominant offense? Or is this all smoke and mirrors, a strategic tease to keep the competition guessing? The air of mystery, only adds to the allure, turning every press conference and cryptic front office comment into a potential clue. For now, Baltimore's secret movement remains just that, secret. But if the rumors hold any weight, the league could be on the brink of a shockwave, and Ravens fans may soon witness a quarterback shift that has the power to turn their season upside down. One thing is certain, the buzz around Jordan Love isn't fading anytime soon, and every subtle hint from the Ravens is being dissected as a possible prelude to a blockbuster change. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.